Blessed morning, blessed morning, blessed morning. You know, in the word, 1 Thessalonians 5:22, I believe, it says, abstain from the very appearance of evil. And how do we know what's evil versus what's good? Well, if we get in our word, we would know. But from the beginning, he placed them in the garden, and everything in there was good. But then sin comes in. We got to get kicked out that garden, and we're going out there and we don't know what's good and what's bad. It's just like salt and sugar. Do you know the difference? Not until you taste it. And then same thing with these plants. We got all these plants out here in nature, and we don't know what's good and what's not. Some of them poisonous and some of them not. We don't know till we taste it. So when we want God to help us discern between the two, we got to do what's right, so we don't have to taste it. But see, the thing is, people go in and taste it, and they taste it and don't realize little by little they're dying. They're being poisoned because they didn't know the difference. They didn't follow God's word. I know someone that she's been living with somebody for a mighty long time. Longevity does not get it. Yeah, you might say they live in one bedroom, you live in another, or they living in the same bedroom and not having intercourse. You know, it doesn't matter. It says abstain from the very appearance of evil. So without knowing who God is and what he's saying is good, then you get confused until you taste it. And then you wonder why you're not happy. You're wondering why things are not going the way it's supposed to go. Now, you know, when you work and you pay your bills on time, you build your credit, you can go buy a house. The principles are there. That doesn't mean God is blessing you, because he don't bless mess. Because that's blessing the flesh. That's somewhere to lay your head. Some of y'all want to brag about it and stuff like that. But the spirit man is what you should be worrying about. That spirit man is slowly dying because you're making excuses. Well, he ain't got nowhere to go. Well, you know, we ain't doing this. We ain't doing that. The Bible don't tell you if they doing this or if they doing that. It says abstain from the very appearance of evil. And unless you're married, you shouldn't be living together. So we don't care what room they sleeping in. We don't care whether you're not doing anything. It says abstain from the very appearance of evil. So when you going out there and you tasting, see, back in the days, they didn't have a botanist who could test the plants and know what's good and what the plant is and all that kind of stuff. We have the scientists that can do that stuff. See, back in the days, they tasted and they just instantly died. But see, under the new covenant, God extends grace and mercy in time for you to get it together. And we got to make excuses. And as we're making excuses, the weight is getting heavier and heavier because we're spiritually dying daily. So yes, you might pray. Yes, you might go to church, but are you going against what God's word is saying? That's the real test. It doesn't matter what is happening good for you in this life. It's what's going to happen for you after you leave this life. So when life be lifing, remember Christ be Christing. His word does not change. Until next time, that's my 2 cents for change. Be blessed.